at a happy man because I have just filled up a 2021 GMC Yukon Denali with the amazing 6-cylinder diesel. And this is what we're going to do. We're going from Boulder, Colorado to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And we're going to try to get as far as we can on one tank of diesel. Now, according to one website for GMC, this vehicle can get up to 760 miles on a tank of fuel. According to Andre's calculations, it's closer to 620 miles. We're curious to see which one is more accurate. Once again, one of my favorite powertrains, 277 horsepower, straight 6 diesel that puts out 460 pound-feet of torque. And it's hooked up to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This is 4-wheel drive, so if I need it, I can go into an all-wheel drive mode or a 4-wheel drive mode. But most importantly, on the highway, Roman ordered me to take it easy and try to get good mileage in this vehicle so we can see how far we can actually go. That's going to be a challenge. You know, we've been on the road for a couple hours now, and this is such a creamy ride. It's so relaxed and mellow that I'm actually feeling a little bit tired. Now, granted, if the camera wasn't on and we weren't talking shop, I'd have really loud music blaring through this really powerful stereo system, but that's not the case. A couple other things that I've noticed, and I've complained about this on other GM products before. There are some switches and dials in here that are placed next to each other, specifically on my left side, that are identical in size. And that can be an issue if you're trying to turn something on or turn something off. It's a little bothersome if I reach down. It's like, oh, wait a minute, which one am I touching? Because they're exactly the same. So are the buttons that surround it. But really, that's my only complaint. The power has been phenomenal, great for passing. We're cruising, right now we're on the highway, so legally it's 75 miles per hour. It's not breaking a sweat. I'm going, it's like 1200 RPM. So it's just lobbing away and just completely happy. It's been very efficient. I've been bouncing around nearly to 30 miles per gallon in some spots. But now that we've settled in, I think it's going to drop down just a little tiny bit. Really happy with the way this car drives. Very happy. Actually, I called it a car. It's a truck, but it feels like a car. We're doing pretty good. We've got 110 miles left worth of range, and we're almost in Lincoln, Nebraska. So we're well past the halfway point. We're going to see how far we can get. I got to say a couple things. First of all, power has been really good. And unlike a lot of diesels, passing power is really good. This thing winds up much better than your average heavy-duty diesel. So that's really comforting. In terms of overall range, I'm already impressed with what this thing can do. And I think, I know that Andre bought the wrong truck. He should have bought a truck with this diesel instead of his fancy Ford hybrid. This thing's range is just incredible. I can't wait to have the final number. Okay, guys, if you're seeing this, showing the fuel level is low. Now, the last time I glanced at the remaining range, we were about 70 miles. So we'll go a little bit further, but obviously we're not going to do something silly like get stranded on the side of the road. At least I hope not. All right, so I canceled out the one warning, and then this one comes on, and this is, we were about 50 miles, maybe just under 50 miles, and then this popped on. So, yep, we're we're really running low on fuel, but we're going to keep going a little bit further. Okay, so here's an update. We went through town, and I thought, we'll get to 600 miles and everything will be great. Well, unfortunately, the minute we got through town, there were no gas stations, so I think we found one. And yeah, we're well over 600 miles. Starting to freak out a little bit because I do not want to push a vehicle that weighs as much as my house. All right, guys, 612.1 miles, average 25.1 mpg. Just so you guys know, I was not hypermiling. Case is behind the camera there, and he can attest to the fact that we were driving at pretty high speeds, and I wasn't drafting or doing anything like that. I don't like to do that. I like to just drive the vehicle. So, it did it with no problem. I would say that if I did drive this thing tenderly, I could have probably gone an extra 30 or 40 miles, piece of cake. But I just don't want to take a chance. There we go. Oh, really helps if I... There's only one button. Now, I'm not the only one who's been driving. Case drove a little bit. Case, what'd you think?
Oh, it's a great truck. Ride is unreal, and it's got a decent amount of torque.
I think that this was one of the more comfortable cars. Now, I've driven recently, I had a Honda Accord Hybrid, and it was a really comfortable car to drive long distance. Obviously, this is superior. It was such a squishy, nice ride. But over 600 miles range? That is really impressive, man. .1, so we went 612.1 miles. And Case, remind me, is that divided by or times?
I think it's divided by, but I wasn't great at math in high school.
Okay. 22.18. So according to this, 27.5, basically 27.6 mpg. All right, that's really impressive. That's far better than what it said. It's interesting. Some automakers are a little too optimistic. Some, well, they're not. But according to this, 27.59, 27.6. According to the vehicle, 25.1. So if you were to cut the difference, that's still well over 25, nearly 26 miles per gallon if you average the two out. It's incredible. Guys, thanks for joining me. This was fun, but Case and I need to get to the hotels. We're going to be really tired when we get there. We still have 260 miles or so to go. So, wish us luck. We'll see you next time.